Why hello there, and welcome back to Swodororg Short Rest. And in this episode, I'll be looking at Vampunks, a cyberpunk vampire hunting role-playing game, which is set in a more or less standard cyberpunk setting with the addition of vampires. And when you think about it, vampires actually fit really well thematically into the dark dystopian cyberpunk thing, so honestly it's surprising that you don't see it more often. Players in this game take on the role of the titular Vampunks, elite vampire hunters who hunt aforementioned vampires. So let's make us a Vampunk. Vampunks have 3 attributes: grit, tech, and faith, and we are given 5 points to distribute between them up to a maximum of 3, so there we go. Then we come up with a name and a backstory, and that's it. When a situation comes up where we need to test one of our attributes, like, say, hacking into a dating site that's serving as a front for a ring of vampires who are seeking human prey, we roll 3d6, subtract the relevant attribute, and then consult a success chart. Now, combat is kind of interesting in that, lacking any equipment or skills system, the game just kind of assumes that characters will in some way use whatever their highest attribute is in combat. So with our high tech, it's just kind of assumed that we use some variety of high-tech weaponry. Combat checks work the same as regular ones, dealing damage on a success and taking damage on a failure. Characters can also later be upgraded with things like cybernetic implants, or after an undeadly vampiric encounter, even become a vampire themselves and gain vampiric powers. Overall, it is a simple but functional system and a base mechanic that I don't think I've seen before, but I've seen way too many games to be sure on that one. Also, the system for vampirism is surprisingly in-depth for being an optional element to a pretty simple game. I do, however, have some issues. It is very much a small numbers game, which is generally fine, but characters only have 5 hit points, or 6 if they purchase an upgrade, and generally no way to heal during a mission. And with enemies dealing 1 to 3 damage on a failed combat check, you can reasonably be taken out in as few as 2 hits. Also, the enemies are defined kinda oddly. They each have a listed number of specific levels of success required to defeat them, and I assume this was done to avoid giving enemies hit points, but abstractly it functions the same as hit points, just in a slightly more complicated way. Aside from the core rules, the game contains an okay number of advancement options, the upgrades and aforementioned vampirism system, an okay selection of enemies, and 4 missions for you to vampunk your way through. Everything is written more or less okay. It doesn't take itself too seriously, which I really like, because as a gothic cyberpunk game, this is the sort of thing that definitely had the danger of being incredibly pretentious. The layout is a thing. Overall, it looks like they had a general idea of what they wanted to do, but didn't really have the skills to do it, and personally, I would have really liked to have seen a darker, more cybery aesthetic to better reflect the themes of the game. And that was Vampunks, a game with an interesting but not very well fleshed out setting, fairly minimal but functional character creation with some interesting advancement options, mechanics that, while interesting, are a little lacking in their minimalist design, an okay amount of content, is generally well written, but not much to look at. So overall, it is a game that I'm not really all that impressed with, but am very interested in seeing what it could become in the future. Like, the concepts are definitely there, but they need some work to really bring everything up to its full potential. Alright, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this still somewhat experimental short-form review format, then give it a like and subscribe and the other things that you can do. Comments, you can leave a comment and tell me some other games that you think I should look at. Or, you know, just say hi or whatever. It's really up to you. And I will see you next time.